Welcome back to the Crystal Chronicles, everybody. In this video, we are just doing part 2 of Rebena to Ra. We started this area in the last video, and we're gonna get it done in this video. This is again post-commentary, so I will try my best. We made it to the top of the pyramid last time, and we unlocked the area that goes to the boss. However, there's still a lot of things we have to do in this area. These white switches here can be hit with any type of magic. It's not like the other ones where you have to hit it with blizzard, fire, or thunder. You can hit it with whatever one you want, and that is going to unlock a door that was going to bring us to another chest. But all that's on this side of the pyramid is that chest and that switch, so now we can start to do some backtracking. This is where we kind of ended it off last video there. So before going and doing any more backtracking, we're going to have to go and get that chest that we unlocked when we unlocked that gate there. And then I think that actually takes care of everything that's on this part of the screen. Where the boss is, like where we started the dungeon. I'm pretty sure that we've gotten every single chest after we've gotten this one, which is nice, and we can pretty much add that to our completion list. And there's only a few chests we have to get in the other part of the dungeon. And these gargoyles, I was like trapped in between them. I was trying to ignore them and go in between them, but they just would not leave me alone. It's like, give it up. I just want to get the chest and leave. Which is kind of unfortunate. Like, sometimes I try to ignore an enemy just, you know, to make things faster, and it only ends up slowing me down because they get in my way. Which is really quite a nuisance, like it was in this case. Luckily, these gargoyles are really quite weak after you hit them with gravity, which really helps. Trying to walk slowly so Mog can keep up because he's tired. And there's that chest there on the other side of the pyramid. And that's just got money in it, which is a bummer. Anywho, now we can go back to the other screen and finish up what we need to do there. We're gonna go through exit number 2 this time. We've gone through 1 and 3, but we haven't gone through the middle area yet, which is what we're gonna do. And then we can see some new stuff, so let's go through here. And this area will connect to other areas we've previously been to. The only thing that's really new here to get is the chest with whatever the hell that is, white yarn in it. And again, you have more of these switches you have to take damage on. You have to take blizzard damage on this particular switch in order for it to open. And again, this isn't necessary to come through this middle exit. All there is that chest. These doors I'm opening up are only going to create a shortcut that will kind of bring us in between the first door and the third door that we came through. And of course, there's a lot of enemies in here to fight. And I was trying to figure out like what to do. I was like, oh, do I take damage and run, or do I fight them all off one by one, because it's just too much. And I think I cut the video off here, and I actually went ahead and I took care of all the enemies off screen, just because it was taking up a lot of time. And I had also had like a 40-minute recording, so I wanted to stop the recording at that point. So you can see there I took fire damage on that switch and was able to move through here. Now I think we're pretty much back to this area here. This is where we took our first little bit of damage. This is where we took that thunder damage on this thunder switch in order to get over to the right-hand side of the room where we were taking damage on those, we were going to come back where we took damage on those 4 squares. So, hopefully that explanation wasn't too confusing. But I said we were going to come back to these 4 squares so we could go to the northern end, because the southern end is where we went to the top of the pyramid. All you have to do here is take any type of damage. You can see they're white squares, kind of like the white switch, which means you can take any type of damage. But you have to take damage on all 4 squares. So what I like to do is actually just let the fire one hit me, and then I like to kind of run across all the squares, because when you're burning, it still counts as damage. Even if you're not getting hit, which is kind of awesome. So there we go. ran across, taking all that fire damage, and I want to quickly dispose of these skeletons before I attempt this puzzle, because there is a puzzle, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't have any idea how I'm going to explain this, because I was trying to do this puzzle and I was like, what? I don't understand, but I was actually surprised, because in single player mode it was difficult, but it really wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be, which was kind of nice. But you do want to take care of all the enemies first, so you don't have any enemies really bothering you when you're trying to figure out a puzzle. So, go ahead and take those guys out and head back to this little puzzle here. You can see there's a bunch of little switches, and depending on which one you step on, it's going to move the puzzle. So if you step on the left one first, it will bring the first little area down. And then you can see there's a lot of stuff. So press the right one. So left, right. And then you've got another pair of left-right switches. You're going to want to step on the right one again to bring that column down. And then you're going to want to be really quick here, because you got to throw your chalice on the right-hand switch and quickly get off. And then again back to the right-hand switch to make that wall come down, and you'll see there's a little area of the wall that comes down to the ground where you can actually step on, and that's what you're looking for. So you want to step on that right-hand switch on the second area, the right-hand switch on the first area, and quickly run up that wall so you're going to be able to actually get up there. Because this is where the key is going to be, which we can bring to another door to get some more chests and things like that. Now this is difficult because the chalice is up there and you need it to be pressed down. So you're gonna have to take a lot of damage here. Now don't try to pick the key up, because if you do, you're gonna drop it. The only reason I picked it up was because I needed to change directions. So kind of be really, really careful with how you move this switch. And once you get back to the safe area, you'll be able to jump off of the wall. It took me a while to figure this out, like where I could jump from. But right here you can jump off of. So that puzzle really wasn't too difficult, and I probably wouldn't count on my explanation to explain it. I'd probably just watch the video, because I tried to cut it the best I could where you could understand it. But it's basically left, right, 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 right to make that work. And then once you've got this key, you actually have to kind of walk a little ways away, but I didn't speed this up, I don't think, because I wasn't sure that I actually showed where the door was. I had kind of walked past it and didn't really mention it because I knew I wouldn't be getting the key for a while, but we're basically going to go back to where we took that first bit of damage on that thunder switch. And in that area, there's a door that we can use that key on. Right there. So there we go. There's more skeletons to destroy, of course. There's always more skeletons. There's not really much in this area, to be completely honest, but there is our Moogle home in here. And there is a chest, so again, completely up to you what you want to do. Personally, solving that puzzle was a bit of personal satisfaction for me because I never solved that puzzle as a kid. It was just way too confusing. And then I figured it out, and I kind of had like a dough moment because it really wasn't that difficult to figure out. It was just a matter of watching the puzzle. Let's go ahead and wipe everything out here. Get that chest in the corner. And then we can go to our Moogle home. And our Moogle home is just on the right-hand side here in this little broken, almost looks like a broken well. So here we are. Let's talk to this Moogle and get our stamp. Oh, it looks like a new stamp. That's a cute little stamp. Aww. I'm not going to paint my Moogle either. You can see I painted him there, but then I later went ahead and I changed my mind. So I didn't show the painting because I screwed up. But he is red now, so I washed him off later on in the video though, so I will fix that. The reason I painted him red was because I thought it would help with this puzzle, but it didn't. You can see now he's bare. I tried to figure out this puzzle for I think about 20 to 30 minutes, and I was getting really frustrated. I used every single one of my food items except for like 1 or 2 of them. I used all of my Phoenix down, taking a bunch of damage from enemies to get Mog to actually try to hit those switches, and I didn't get it to trigger, so I said screw it. I'll tell you guys that there are a total of 5 treasure chests behind that area. I do believe that 3 of them are mimics. So the last 2 treasures I think that I was missing are the 2 artifacts, because I'm missing 2 artifacts out of my collection. But I could not get it to trigger, and I was spending a lot of time in that area, and it just really wasn't worth it to me. I painted Mog red thinking that fire, he'd cast fire, but it only made him cast like lightning because I would combine my spells, and it was really quite irritating. So here we are, back at the boss. Okay, so this is Leech. He's a ghost type enemy, so you're gonna need to use Holy. Because I'm doing post commentary, you can tell that I was kind of scattered. I was trying to get that last part in, and I didn't even tell you guys how I got back to him. Obviously, since I opened up the area in the last video, I basically just went back to entrance number 1 and hightailed it back to the boss to get here. Pretty simple stuff. This boss, actually, I've never beaten in my entire lifetime until this point, so this is actually a very long boss battle for you guys compared to what I normally put out. I wouldn't say this was difficult, but it was definitely a surprise for me, obviously. To get him to come off of his, like, throne, you're gonna have to damage those, little crystals that he's got. For some reason, when I was doing the battle, I didn't figure out that, you know, use thunder and then attack it like you would any normal switch. So I was kind of dumb about that. I think if you manage to hit those switches, he'll come down, but it will also damage him. He kind of has like a barrier around him when he's got those switches activated, but and I don't know if it was just that I couldn't see or wasn't paying attention, but I think that switch on the right hand side is thunder, and the one I hit on the left hand side was thunder. I didn't cause any damage to him, but he did come down to fight me, and I didn't get any sort of negative actions for not destroying those switches. All you gotta do in this boss is use Holy, obviously, to make him visible, and I would honestly just suggest using Holy throughout the entire battle. It does the most damage. This guy is nasty. You can also use Gravity on him, but it will only work once. If you use Gravity, it will deal a lot of damage, but it only works once, apparently. So I just stuck with my Holy spells. This guy only really has about... He only had 2 attacks that I saw him use, and that was the Thundaga spell, obviously, that he's been using. You've been seeing a lot of that, which is this spell right here he's using. And he also uses that Meteorite attack. Now, that Meteorite attack is nasty. It is a terrible spell. It's super hard to avoid, and it is very, very damaging. The Thundaga spell's a little bit better. You can see that he has that Meteorite attack. The Thundaga spell's a little bit easier to avoid, honestly, because yes, it takes so long to cast it. And then you can also get your own attack off. But that Meteorite is just nasty. And this battle literally had my heart racing because, like I said, I used all of my Phoenix down pretty much. I think I have about 2 of them left, and I only had 1 striped apple left at the end of this by the time I was going into the boss, and I was just so scared I was gonna die. Because I had already finished the stage, and I was like, I don't want to die on the boss, I'll be so mad. Because, like I said, I've never fought this boss in my life until now, and he definitely gave me a very big surprise. He seems to use that meteorite attack a lot more when you're closer to him, so I basically just was a total chicken shit, and I just kind of kept my distance from him. I tried to keep away from him as far as possible, waited for him to start casting Thundaga, and then what I would do was I would get closer and use a holy spell. That was kind of my pattern. I kind of wish I would have shown off if hitting those switches would have done any additional damage or maybe made him weaker or something like that, but I guess I was so focused on not dying in this battle that I didn't even pay attention to those orbs. Once the boss was down here, I kind of just ignored them completely and focused on the boss, because I didn't want to be trying to hit those switches and have that meteorite hit me a bunch of times. And now you can see I have no more Phoenix down left. Like this was like the last leg of the battle. I had no more Phoenix down. I think I had 1 stripe. I think I still had my striped apple, and so I was just kind of running around playing chicken because, yeah, this was a very, very close call. This was probably like the first battle in this game that I wasn't expecting, that totally just had my heart racing, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna die, you know, and I was freaking out. So, these skeletons, or he also summons, are probably one of the nastier enemies that are in this level, so that's also kind of a nuisance to deal with because the skeletons will do a lot of damage as well as the boss himself. So I would take out those skeletons as soon as you see them. That's just kind of my recommendation. So you can see, I think I'm about to use my last striped apple. I have no cure spell. I have no more food left. I was trying, like I said, I used all my food and all my Phoenix down trying to get that stupid door to open, and it was just very frustrating for me, because if you leave the level, you have to do it all over again, and I wasn't about to leave the level to go and get more food, so that was rather frustrating for me. So now I think I pretty much said all I want to say about this battle. Basically, when I was playing, I was trying to concentrate greatly on staying alive and finding a pattern with this guy, and like I said, the pattern I found that worked best was to just stay away from him, avoid that meteorite at all costs, wait till he casted Thundaga, and then go ahead and go in with my own holy spell. He's got resistance to every other type of spell, like fire, blizzard, thunder, slow, and stop. The only spells that are going to work on him are gravity and holy, and this was just a boss I found wasn't worth it to me to attack physically. I didn't even try, just because I figured he was kind of floating in the air and I would miss. I probably could have tried it, but it just wasn't really worth the risk to me. Plus, I wanted to make sure that he kept visible, so. The battle's almost over, but you can see I've been at this for quite a while. I was just running around. One more hit. I had 2 hearts left, no food, no healing items. Definitely a very difficult battle for me, but it was fun. I was very proud of myself for finishing this level for the first time in my entire life. This level just was a complete nightmare and stumped me to no end as a kid. I would come into this level, die, and then leave and never come back, so. I tried to scan the map for this area because I really honestly, truly wanted to get a map out to everybody, just because I really feared I wouldn't explain the area well enough, because it is a very, very difficult area to explain, but I couldn't really get the map to show up in a viewable size, so unfortunately, I didn't really have a viewable size map for you. And as always, if my video didn't help you, then there are plenty of other videos out there to look at, and, you know, I tried my best, so. I don't think I'll be coming back for any other cycle, because the boss doesn't really change. He has another attack to his, kind of repertoire, but all it does is knock you down. It doesn't cause any damage, and it seems like he would just be more of a troll in other cycles, and in my opinion, it's just not really worth showing off, so. Rebena to Raw, everybody. The first and last time we'll ever come here, thank God. Let's move on to happier times, though, and get our mail, because that's what I really look forward to. Here you go, Kupo. It's from our mother, Rossi. So far away. You're so far away now, I hope you're not missing us too much, because we miss you an awful lot. Please come home soon. Aww. Well, we're actually almost in year 5, so we actually will be returning home soon. I don't miss you at all. What a jerk move. Can't believe we're almost on year 5 in this game. It's just craziness. It's pretty awesome though. I've got a lot accomplished actually. Anywho, let's just send that letter off. Get our bonuses and be done with this godforsaken world. Don't use physical attacks. That might be a good score, because I actually did use a lot of magic. 94, nah, not so good. And like I said, I was missing artifacts in this level, just because I didn't really go up to that one area where there were a few treasure chests, so I do have a feeling that at least one artifact was in there, so. Sorry about that, guys. Not a complete run of this level, but like I said, I did it to the best of my ability, so. That is going to be it for me. Join me in the next level before we go on to year 5. Thanks for watching, and I hope that I'll see you all then.